What's up guys, this is Ryan Maker from RC Maker. Today I wanted to introduce the brand new Awesomatix PSS system to you. It's quite a bit different from the original PSS, which was a little bit finicky to set and quite difficult to get it the same left and right and get it consistent all the time. That's why Awesomatix have actually made this new one. Progressive springs can be really useful, especially in low traction conditions. As the car's squatting, the spring stiffens up and it transfers the weight onto the tires, which gives you more traction, especially in the middle and the exit of a corner. And we like to use this, I guess, on the front is probably most beneficial to give you a bit more aggressive steering. So as the car squats, it transfers the weight onto the front tires and it gives you more mid-corner and exit steering. And this can also be used at the rear. It wouldn't be as common to use it at the rear. In some conditions, definitely, it can be advantageous. And you see a lot of cars with normal shocks and springs and everything using progressive at the rear as well. So this is essentially what we're trying to replicate, is that progressive spring feeling. And since we have just a spring touching a point which determines its leverage, we can't actually create a progressive system until now, and this is absolutely genius what Awesomatix have designed here. So I'm just going to run you through it, how it works and all the different components involved in it. So first of all, we have our SRS screw. So this was involved in the last one already. You guys would know this one. This is the one you loosen to adjust your shock gap, and you've still got your little SPR03 collar to set your gap here. AT119, this one here, that's going to be replacing your P09X, which you would currently have, or P09 it's been called. And that's a really big block normally, but now they've made it nice and small and it's only got 2 holes. Your P46R, which you can see here, that's actually the ball out of the diff, and what that's used for is actually just pressing against this ST69, which you can see in here. And that just stops it from spinning, which now is going to actually change your ride height. So the ST69 replaces your ride height screw, and basically what it is, it's got a hex in the top of it. So just in here we have a 1.5 mil hex, and at the bottom it's basically a flat, like a flat button as such. And that comes in 2 different widths and diameters. So you've got the 15% one and the 25% one. The 25% one is actually wider and it gives you more of a progression in your spring. The 15% one has got a narrower head and it gives you less progression in your spring. So you can screw this up and down basically to adjust your ride height, and that's exactly how you've always done it. So there's actually no change there. The one thing is that because you have the different width of the head, you've got here and here. So the first stage of the spring's progression, because it's on a slight angle, this is going to be stage 1 here. So basically, when your spring is first compressing, it's going to be hitting against here, which is quite far in on the spring, and that's where the spring is at maximum leverage. So when this is going up like this under compression, it's going to be touching on that spot first. So as the spring compresses, it's going to be wrapping around the head of this screw, and it's actually going to be going into the second stage, which you can see here. So as it wraps around the head, it's going to be touching on the right-hand side of that screw. And basically what that's doing is it's moving the leverage point of the spring from here, from point 1 to point 2. And as that moves, obviously the width of that screw head, that's stiffening up by that amount of rate as such. So your first starting might be, say one set at 70 GF, then your second spring rating could be, say the head of that ST69 is 3 mil. It's going to essentially be moving your SRS 3 mil throughout the stroke of the spring, which is going to obviously stiffen it up quite a lot. And as I said, there's 2 different ones. So you've got your 15% and you've got your 25%. Basically, those 2 different ones are going to have different width heads here. So the 15% gives you less progression. The 25% is wider in this distance here, and it's give you more progression. So the leverage distance from the first point to the second point is going to be greater. So guys, I hope this has helped you. It's a little bit difficult to understand, so hopefully that's explained it a bit and makes it a little bit easier for you. I think this is going to be an absolutely brilliant option. I know that everybody used it at the ETS just gone, and it was obviously really successful in both stock and modified. So I think this is going to be an excellent option, especially for low traction. I'm really, really looking forward to trying it and getting it on my car, because I really liked the original progressive P09X system. However, it was quite difficult to set up, and that was really the main reason I wasn't using it as much as I hoped I would. So I think this is going to make it absolutely awesome to be able to tune and use all the time. I should quickly note that Because of the difference in the width here, you actually need to set, because normally your screw is going to be touching just at this point, so you actually should set your SRS about 1 millimeter wider or softer on the spring than you normally would to compensate for that. So if you normally run, say, SRS1 with 2 mil on the spring gap at the front, then make it SRS1 with 3 mil on the spring gap. Same goes for the rear. If you run with 1 mil spring gap, now you're going to change to 2 mil spring gap, and that's just an essential rule that you should do for when you're adjusting and applying this new PSS system. Cool. So I hope that's been helpful, guys, and let me know if you've got any questions, and I'll be sure to get back to you. They're available now on RC Maker, so you can pick some up, and yeah, definitely let me know if you have any questions, and I'll be sure to help you out. Cheers, guys.